afternoon, everyone. It's Kat Bat from Digital Leopard, and today we've got with us Duncan Merry from Jump Dogs. Duncan, could you tell us a little bit about your business?
Jump Dogs parachute display team. It's been up and running for just over 18 months now, and we specialise in doing parachute displays for all kinds of events.
I've been really looking forward to this interview. How did you get into this line of work?
My background is that I was actually in the military for a long time, and as part of my military service, I was actually part of a parachute display team about 15 years ago. And then as of about 3 years ago, some colleagues of mine, again ex-military, had some ideas of putting a team together, something a little bit different, but still to do with the parachuting that we used to do, and then that's how the team was actually put together. So we became an official team in the UK as of 18 months ago.
That's excellent. That's a fantastic business to run and a fantastic idea. But how has it been for you during coronavirus? I can imagine that you've been quite badly affected.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, because obviously outdoor events were cancelled, as with pretty much all of the event industry went into lockdown, we had to ground the team on the 23rd of March, as with a lot of other industries, and we're still not back up and running. There are certain things we've been able to do, so a lot of the sort of things in the background, changing equipment. Some of the things that we wanted to change and kind of do in processes, we've been able to do that because we've had the time. So these are things that perhaps have always been in the background and things we wanted to do over the last 18 months, but never had the time to do it before. So the break has given us that opportunity to do that. We've taken some bookings as well for 2021.
Oh, really? Already? That's great.
Yeah, so we have taken some bookings for 2021. Those events that were supposed to happen later on this year, again, they're just on hold for the minute, but I can foresee those again being moved to those same dates, but in 2021. So, it doesn't, although we've had to stop what we did this year, which is a shame because we were on forecast to do probably 3 times as many events that we did last year. So it was, there was a lot of excitement with the team and how we were going to move forward this year. But in our eyes, we just see that now happening in 2021 rather than 2020.
Okay, I'm really happy to see you stay positive. I think, for us, we did a lot of work in events industry as well with like events, videos and all that. So it's been a little bit stressful to start with, but I think everyone is sort of finding their feet and using the time effectively, and it's actually, it might actually be quite positive for everyone, hopefully. Brilliant. Have you got any advice for other entrepreneurs?
Well, certainly. I mean, I've been in business for the last kind of 4 years. I run this business. I also run another business. And I have to say, the one piece of advice that I would ever give any entrepreneur or anybody looking out to start in business is to certainly get within the networking scene, either locally or internationally, but definitely do join some sort of networking environment or organization. But the networking has certainly helped me grow as a business person, and help me along the way. So, I mean, as one piece of advice, I would say certainly do as much networking as you can do. And even if we can't physically meet at the minute, then online networking is just as good at the minute. So that
was going to be my other question. Like it's a fantastic advice, and I've always been doing a lot of networking in my business as well. But how can you do it now?
I mean, it has moved online, and by using the video conferencing calls and Zoom and other. I mean, there are other ones out there, and that has assisted it, and it's helped. And in some respect, it's opened further doors for me because, yes, usually networking, you're limited to how far you can usually travel by in person. But now that we're online, it means that really, it's opened up the whole world in a way, So, I mean, I've spoken to people from Canada and from, places abroad, all over the place. So I think it's definitely opened that up. During this period.
Brilliant. Yes, it was a tricky question because I've been doing a lot of online networking as well, and I found it quite useful, and especially for businesses that are quite unique as yours, or are happy to kind of travel or provide services abroad. There are a lot of new opportunities nobody ever thought about before. Like a lot of trainers are teaching courses in US now, and like, amazing things are happening all over the world.
Yeah, I mean, even before we ended up in this situation, I mean, we already had done some displays abroad. We were in the Philippines last year, and actually we did some displays early on this year in March. In fact, literally a couple of weeks before we went to lockdown again in the Philippines this year, we returned to an air show where we did very well the year before, and off the back of that display, we had some provisional bookings to do an event in Saudi Arabia, and then one in Bangladesh that was supposed to happen in May. So, I think even at that point, we were already growing in scope and internationally, and this has only aided in that as well. So, yeah, unfortunately, we're not jumping, but we're still getting that recognition, and there's still talk about things that we can do in the future, as well as what we've already done.
That is really impressive. Thank you, Duncan. Is there anything that you would like to add?
Well, I think from our point of view, we've started our business, about 18 months ago, and we saw a real gap in the market, and there were other parachute teams out there, certainly, but the majority of those teams are military teams. They're military based, and that's because of the cost of parachutes and everything else like that. It kind of makes a lot of sense that it'd be the military showing off those skills. But there's certainly an ask and a want from companies that want something a little bit different, that may want something very specific to their needs. And that's why we're different. And that's why we bring something else to the table, in that we are there specifically for our clients and for their messaging. So if a client needs us to jump in, wearing a clown's outfit into a summer party, we can do that. We're not limited by the way we look or the way we dress or the messages that we're promoting. We don't have our own messages. We're there for the client. And that's what's different and unique about the Jump Talks Parachute Display team.
That sounds fantastic. Thank you so much, Duncan. Thank you.